is first and foremost a dope ass platform.
Shout out to Pure Rap Podcast again.
Yeah, y'all keep doing what y'all doing, man. Y'all stay safe out here, man. And
Appreciate
y'all, I can see y'all being big in the future.
Man. Y'all keep going and shit, stay down.
Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome to the Pure Rap Podcast. We got Darneezy, we got Kev for the second time.
Second time.
Let's go.
And it's not an interview. It's my first episode in person, so I can say whatever the fuck I want now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Hey man, talk your stuff, man.
I can talk my shit. Keep it more unprofessional.
More water for you, man. More water.
Hey, shout out Ask the Author, man.
Yeah, shout out Ask the Author.
Yeah, go check out our latest interview.
And go check out the project as well, man. He's doing numbers too, man. Shout out to Ask the Author, man.
Nah, man. I want to say this man Darnell looked like D-Wade statue.
Oh my god! You got that heat. I don't know if he want that hat on, man.
Just went straight to it.
Hey, you went straight into it. I thought you were gonna ask how my day was or something.
Hell no.
Yeah, went straight into it.
I was feeling like I just had to just go into it, you know what I mean? Like, I got my heat hat on, you know what I mean? I was feeling like, damn, I had to, represent, you know what I mean? I gotta.
You should do the face of the D-Wade's like.
Yeah. What they say, Lawrence Fishburne? They say, like Lawrence Fishburne.
The Matrix. With the glasses.
What's the Heat record 1 week into the NBA season?
I think we're 3-1.
3-1?
Yeah, we just I don't know if we played today. I haven't looked at who's playing today, but I think we just beat Pistons the other day. I mean, which is not. Like,
I don't care who.
But still,
their record is. I want to know whose idea was that statue. who was in charge? That's what I need to know.
Man,
does that statue resemble the Heat's team?
Oh my goodness.
I hope not. You know what I mean? I hope it. I mean, we starting off good. You know what I mean? But like, now honestly, I don't. The statue is kind of random because it's like it looks good, like the actual like the body, you see the jersey like
leading up to the head.
Yeah, then you see the head, you're like, yo, like what the fuck happened?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He was in the process.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like pictures and all that stuff, but it's like. I don't know. That's just.
I wasn't expecting him to be like full mouth open.
Yeah,
like,
and that's what I think. Why is it all the way open like that?
No, because it's like he's like pointing down, like screaming. So it's like my It's like it's like that's the picture of what they decide to use. But
his mouth
whoever did the like, and mind you. I don't know how difficult that is of a job, you know what I mean? Like, we don't do that shit, so I don't know if can they help her? How perfect can you make it? You know what I mean? Like
sculpting school.
Yeah. Like I don't know how perfect like you can actually like. I don't know what the job pertains, bro. So I'm not gonna sit here and like point fingers at the man. What the fuck y'all doing?
Like
because the statue looks great until you see the face. So it's like clearly like whoever's working on it is a good job. I just don't know. Maybe the face or the details is probably more difficult. You know what I mean? When you get to that point. And plus, it's not like it's not like a wax figure or like anything like this is like an actual statue, so it's probably much difficult to make it like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They said the same guy that made like Kobe statue and
it's the same.
A bunch of others. Yeah, it was the same guy. So
Iverson.
Yeah, so I don't know what they were thinking when they made the face, like how they were gonna do it, but I don't know. That mouth is just freaky just to look at.
Hey yo. That mouth.
They're trying to give him a big mouth.
Hey, yo, no.
Trying to make him a throat goat or something. Like not so wide.
Hey, man. Hey, but man, shout out D-Wade, man. That's my guy, man. Like, it's like.
Nah, shout out to that. But I mean, he deserves it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, from Miami, bro, like.
For his career and everything.
But everyone's just saying, you can see the disappointment in his faces from the videos.
Either that, he's just like, sucking everything in. He's like, oh, man, this is crazy. So.
Yeah.
Hey, that was worse than what he said.
This man was talking about getting sticky in text messages.
Yeah, I don't want to hear. Hey, yeah, this man. Hey, shout out.
That's later in the episode.
Yeah. I mean, we could. That actually had to do with the topic the secret topic that I had was actually. I mean, if you want to just go right into it.
What, Tyler the Creator?
It wasn't about more so Tyler the Creator. It was shout Tyler the Creator. I just listened to his album. It's actually, Tyler the Creator always makes good projects, so it's a good project. But I only listened to it one way through, but I want to ask, I don't know, I know we spoke about this on the Gift Vader episode when we were talking about, white people saying the N-word, right? We had that conversation, but I'm curious of how you guys feel about I don't know if you've seen that Tyler the Creator interview like way before the album drop and stuff, where he was talking about these white like these white artists like like jocking the culture and shit like that.
He name dropped like
like
guy
but how do you feel about? I'm curious about how you guys feel about that in general, like just white artists in the hip hop culture, like this day and age.
Using the word.
No, not using the word. Just
the culture, not the word.
Yeah, just the culture in general. Like, how do you feel like if you're a white artist coming into hip hop, like, how do you feel like you got to be, like on your like, because you're obviously you're a guest in hip hop.
I understand. Like I'm a guest technically. At this podcast, I'm a guest.
But I'm just curious of how do you feel about that? Like, of what kind? I don't know if you guys seen what Tyler Creator was talking about. He even said it in the song. He's like,
Scott,
I don't know that
on the new project.
Yeah. Got to know your place.
Yeah. So is it saying like he has like a big white culture community? Like,
no. So he was talking about like the like the artists, like some of the white artists,
like that Ian guy. Everyone was pointing at.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the streamer.
Like you're pretty like the shit that he's rapping about, or like stuff like that. Like I don't know. I never really listened, so I don't want to speak too much on someone else. Like of that I don't know about. So I'm turning into a general like discussion of if you're a white artist coming into the culture, like do you have to like tread lightly on certain shit, or should you be yourself? Like what do you?
I say be yourself, I guess. Like because I think they're trying to say like the Ian guy kind of sounds like
he's using someone's
like
Ian the rapper.
Yeah, he kind of sounds like it wouldn't be from a white rapper.
Oh, the guy with Lil
like the sound, I think.
Yeah.
I never really listened to his music either. From what I remember seeing though, like his sound sounds like he wouldn't be white. I guess you could say. Like
it's the same thing when Slim Jesus was popping. He had that whole.
No one took that serious either.
Yeah, but I think it depends on if like you said. I think that's a big thing.
On the artist.
How serious are you going to be taking like, and how serious are you taking the art, right? Because someone like Slim Jesus is like, oh, this dude's clearly a joke. Like it's probably just for like that shit's not real. Like
That's what I'm saying. You just gotta.
I don't.
That's why you just gotta know your place. Like, say someone like Mac Miller, who's respected. How he started. He was more hip hop, but then he also transitioned his music into something that was his own lane.
Yeah.
Later on in his career, before his demise.
It was outstanding work.
The Alchemist, as a like the Alchemist is like the perfect example for me of like, you would listen to like he he's a white producer. You know what I mean? But and a rapper too, yeah. But primarily a producer, and you're like, but the respect that he has for the culture, just keeping his head down, doing his thing, and just the love for hip hop. I appreciate that type of shit. You know what I mean? Like if you are going to be in the game, it's like you gotta, what I mean? It's like it's just doing it for the love and the appreciation. You know what I mean? But if you're trying to do all that other shit.
Just to fit in.
Yeah, just to fit in, and it's like,
I mean,
you could tell though. Like I feel like you can tell, like when.
That's a lot of artists nowadays. I mean, people are doing it just to go viral, just for the show. It's not really their style. They're just trying to get.
I think that's why like.
Also, going viral is what's getting them paid too.
So they're just trying to get rich fast. I mean, I don't think that's their lifestyle.
And I think he's more pointing at the ones who are starting to like kind of come out these days just for the trend. You know what I mean? Like you see some of these white rappers that are like coming out now just like doing freestyles, but they sound like, like these artists from, the South, or this artist from the hood, like someone that's like, but then you could tell like this shit's a trend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, and I think that's mainly happened in like the past few years, because clearly like you only had a specific, amount. There was only a certain amount of like real like white artists, and the ones who were like real rappers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It just comes with what's hype.
Well, Action Bronson. I mean, you should know. No,
I guess you could say how hip hop's more mainstream, like accepted mainstream now compared to say 20 years ago.
Yeah,
I feel like the people that are getting into hip hop now, if this was 10, 20 years ago, they'd be listening to different music. They wouldn't be listening to hip hop. So someone like Ian, for example.
Yeah.
If that guy was 20 years ago, the age he is now, he'd be listening to like Good Charlotte. He wouldn't be listening
Good Charlotte is hilarious.
Whatever,
Do you think it's different though? Like if what was I gonna say? Like the respect level of and I guess this might go further, not just white people now. Like I think this is just in general. If you're someone who's young going into the game now, do you think the respect level for hip hop is a little bit different? Because before I felt like, with labels, et cetera, like it was a little bit different if you couldn't just get in.
Yeah.
Like you really had to be like on point with your music. You couldn't just you know, you can't just do what you're doing now, but you think now with the trends and all the like the, you know, people only here for like, you know, their little 15 minutes of fame. You think the respect level for hip hop has kind of watered down just a little bit?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
For like, if you're a new artist coming in, like you're not knowing like who Rakim is, you're not knowing who any of these guys are. You're not really doing your homework before you get into it.
My favorite rapper is Lil Baby.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, he's the Tupac of our generation.
Which is nothing wrong with. Because obviously you only know what you know.
Yeah,
right?
they only know what they know.
But do you think if you're do you think if you're entering something, right? It's like the young kids going into the NBA. Like if you're coming into something, you should have done your homework, right?
Yeah.
At least a little bit. You don't have to know. I'm not expecting you to know. Like I'd be one like KRS-One and you know listen to Black Moon and all these different '90s groups. I'm not expecting like that, but like at least have a healthy like respect knowledge for what you're getting into. Like, do you know what I mean? You think that's kind of like, is that still?
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
I agree. And then the excuses that you weren't alive for or old enough to remember it when it came out is no excuse. Like,
yeah, we learned about fucking.
I'm here listening to Public Enemy and shit, you know, fucking all these old albums before I was even born, early 90s and shit. You know, there's no excuse with the streaming platforms why you can't go back and listen to that.
Yeah.
If it's not your style, I get it. You know, teach their own, but.
Right.
Yeah, just like how Richie Evans was like, yeah, like, you know, the game told him about all them classic albums and go back and
like
see how all these cadences is, like how their flows, their raps, the production, like song making, like everything.
Yeah, like you're doing work.
Yeah, so you're doing the actual, like, you know, the homework, you know what I'm saying? You're digging in the archives, basically.
Yeah, well, I appreciate y'all. I just wanted to ask that. Like, that was my secret little topic. Obviously, like, straight and different things, but
I
was just curious
the Ian rapper.
I
say we got some big topics tonight. Everyone that's watching, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I know before we get into like the bigger ones, I know you guys wanted to mention. It's funny, us being a podcast. What was it? How Shaq came on? It was the Angel Reese's podcast. Y'all want to speak on that?
Yeah, we could do that real quick.
That was her podcast.
It was Angel Reese's, right? Yeah.
You want to start with that, or you want me to get in?
Nah, I mean, well, shoot. What was the whole thing?
So I think
the whole thing was about is like what he said.
So the whole thing was about what he said about the, like, you know, if you wore the same shorts that you were on Wild 'N Out, and I guess it made her uncomfortable. So what I did when I heard about that, it was actually at I saw the, you know, just like anything, they put that out. I was like, let me go check out the actual like podcast, you know what I mean? Because like
let me just the 20-second clip that a popular page posted.
So if you look, if you go on, you can literally go on it right now. This ain't just me. You could go on it right now. If you looked at the comments, bro, there's probably like, honestly, I don't think I've seen a negative comment on the actual podcast, like the actual under the podcast. Like, I did not see like an actual negative comment. Like most people were like, "Oh, this is the best episode." You know what I mean? Most people are like, Shaq is funny. He's like the, you know, and then there'd be a couple people who remember like Shaq's giving creepy uncle vibes. You know what I mean? But like,
he always did.
But Shaq is Shaq. He's always been like that. Which is doesn't mean you're right. But like he reminds me of like someone like an older cousin or some shit just saying some dumb shit at a cookout. Like, bro, come on, like that's just him. You know what I mean? That's just Uncle Shaq. You know what I mean? That's just how he talks. But like,
that man's a fool over there.
Yeah, he's a fool. Like, we don't take it serious. But and the thing is, what a lot of people don't know, and I didn't know this. So Shaq is actually one of her mentors. Like, so they actually have like a real like buddy like relationship.
Back because she went to LSU.
And So and then he helps with the protection of her podcast as well. Mm-hmm. And he helped her with her Reebok deal because he's the president of Reebok.
Yeah, chairman or whatever. Yeah.
So it's like when you first start seeing like, okay, they actually have like, even when I watched some of the podcasts, it's like, let me watch a little bit, and then I ended up catching myself actually enjoying it. I was like, oh, this is actually like a good like podcast. Like, you know, you could tell. Even most people said like, and I didn't know. I guess people who follow her podcast more, I saw some comments. I'm like, oh man, she's getting more comfortable. Like, and people were saying, oh, we're Shaq's her like this and that. Like, she's more comfortable around people like, you know, who she already has a good relationship with. So when I started seeing that, I'm like, oh, so they're actually like, they're talking like, not like an interview. They're actually talking like, you know, if they were just outside, you know, probably what they text about or what they on phone calls about, just shooting the shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, it ain't that bad. Like, once I actually got the background of like the relationship and like, you know, and then already knowing how Shaq is, he's gonna say some wild shit, you know?
I think people's problem is the fact that he is all these things. He's supposed to be the mentor.
So you can't be saying
54,
like
53, 54. She's like what, 22? it comes off kind of creepy. I get that.
I do get that side of it
obviously
too.
There's more dialogue to the situation. There's more backstory.
But once I knew they had an actual relationship, like a real friendship, then it made me ease up a little bit on like, oh, okay, that's just probably how they just Shaq just making jokes that, and then that one just probably was a joke that just didn't hit. Like it just didn't land the way probably he wanted it to.
Maybe she just felt like
he's
coming
talking
off
about
bad
this
on podcast.
Yeah,
knowing
exactly.
that it's being recorded, like maybe you should.
Sometimes you gotta like, hey, right.
But then people are also on the internet arguing that, well, if you don't want people commenting on what you're wearing, then why are you wearing
them little shorts?
You know?
True.
But man, people should be able to wear what they want.
Yeah, right.
Actually, I hit the mic.
And it's wild and out, you know what I mean? You get to have a good time, like, you know what I mean?
You also got to know how people are. Like, you got to know people are going to look at you. People are going to comment on it. People are going to say stuff. So, it's kind of,
people are going to judge
pros and cons to what you're wearing.
Say,
right.
What they're going to do, what they're going to wear. I mean, that's the only thing.
My fault, not to cut you off, but it was to he was also kind of more talking about too, like for the WNBA, if you make a change, like
he was like
marketing to to the men, you know what I mean? Like if you, but then again, I personally don't agree with that take. There are some guys, so like I was reading kind of like, it's always like the split. You got people who agree, got people who disagree. Me personally, I don't agree with. Of course, we would like, one day you might have that, woman who comes in the WNBA like actually like full on do a tomahawk or some shit, wild shit. But I don't agree with them lowering the rim at this point because.
Yeah.
Even when you look at the statistics for WNBA and stuff, I think it's like, the majority of the people who watch it are men already. Like, it's more women who need to start like supporting the, you know what I mean, and actually watching and mind the march and stuff like that. Like when you look at the stats, it's like it's actually like that's how it is. So I don't think that's much of a change. I think they just need to keep doing what they're doing because it's clearly like their viewership. Even with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark from LSU, like and going to the WNBA, that has boosted viewership already, you know what I mean? So it's like they're already doing their part. And then I think the more like, stuff like this, Angel Reese doing podcasts, being more accessible, all these things I think is only going to push. So I think they just got to keep doing what they're doing. One day you'll see, some woman's going to come. The more year after year, people are getting more athletic. We're seeing this shit in every sport, you know what I mean? So one day I'm pretty sure because some of these women can already like rim graze and do the little dunks, put it in. I guarantee you probably one year we're going to see something come out of nowhere just straight up fucking you go crazy, you know what I mean? But lowering the rim to me isn't the answer.
WNBA, they're not the same height as NBA, right?
I think it's lower, but they're trying to say like, lower. But then at that point, then it's just like you're dumbing down the game. And then that's disrespectful to the work that they've been putting in since they were children, just to actually like, competing as like they're not going to, and most of them, I don't even see them wanting to cater. Like they're playing a sport just like anybody else. Like we're not, this is what we're doing. Like,
they don't need to cater it to it.
They don't need to change everything.
To make everything, everything doesn't have to be sexy for men, bro.
Take notes
you know what I mean?
They don't have to be real soft for them to just lower the rim, make it easy for them. Like, nah, just so they get more buckets. It's not, it's not really changing nothing. But I think just to go back on the Shaq and what he said to Angela Reese, like you kind of don't know. I think like what you said is like you got to know the backstory. Maybe that's how they talk.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy with the internet. Like a 1 30-second clip could change everything. People could be like, "Oh, he said something wrong," or you feel some type of way. Like you don't know how like what they're saying is going to affect you because you kind of can't get the feeling of like what they're really saying. So I think it's just like what he's saying is kind of like on some mentor. Like, well, if you gonna dress like that, be about that, or like. I mean, and that's what he's kind of saying, but it's like, well, or maybe he's like, be professional.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to be funny, like, you know what I mean? And it just came off as just like, hey, yo, like, relax.
And that's
because I mean, he always makes sexual jokes, but he knows, dang right, what he's saying is going to get the attention, so.
Exactly.
I mean, he knows what he's doing.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta respect, your career and your platform and what you're doing in your life, because what you say is going to affect the people around you. So.
Right. And that's tough too, because like if that's how you guys already talk, like for instance, like how we speak. Obviously, we don't. We sometimes pull back a little bit, but when we're in front of the camera.
Yeah.
But even sometimes, like man, you never know like what you might say, or if we said like expressed like certain things, or said this and whatnot, like or about certain artists. Like sometimes I have to catch myself and like if we're talking about, even like early on in the podcast, we're talking about like hot takes and worst rappers and stuff. It's like, damn, what if one day we like have an opportunity to interview this person, and I already was like fucked it up by saying this dude's like trash. You know what I mean? So sometimes you gotta just like realize like I have to be careful just a little bit with what you say, because you don't
stand on it.
Or stand on it. Those are literally the only 2 options, really, or 3 options. Don't say it at all. Stand on it, or watch what you say.
Yeah.
But for me, I at this point, I'm like, I'm fucking standing on it. I don't care. Because clearly, if I say you trash, I probably don't want to interview you. You know what I mean? Like, really? Yeah. So. I mean, we'll still get something. Obviously, you've been in the industry, in the game, so like it'll be a good interview because you still get the journey and everything like that. So I'm not saying that. And I don't even want to say trash. Musically, it's not for me.
Yeah,
it's a better way.
A nicer word.
Nicer word than trash. Cause
without being disrespectful. It's not your cup of tea.
It's just not my cup of tea. Yeah, because there's a fan base for everyone. But yeah.
Yeah.
But, nah, fuck that. Some people are trash though. Let's be real. Like, nah. Like, I feel like it's something that's like overall though. Like, we know when someone is like, you just know. It's not it. Like,
you need a different career path.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, should have quit your day job, bro.
Right.
But hey, man, get your money, man. It's America. Like, get your money, man. So, well, let's move on.
Yeah. I know people are waiting for this convo because it broke last Thursday, and that's Lil Durk. You guys want to jump into that? This might be a lengthy convo as well. So pretty much, I'll give the rundown. If you're under a rock the past couple of days and didn't hear the news, especially by the time this video gets put out, it'll probably be a week already. But rapper Lil Durk was arrested in Florida on federal charges in which he paid for the attempted murder of Quando Rondo, which resulted in Quando Rondo's cousin being murdered.
Allegedly?
Allegedly, yes. This took place.
Gotta make sure we use that word.
This took place at a Los Angeles gas station in 2022. Durk is charged with, quote, conspiracy to commit murder for hire. 5 other OTF members were arrested as well. Lil Durk was arrested as he attempted to flee the country per the FBI.
Damn.
And this is all due to the retaliation of the 2020 murder of rapper King Von, which Quando Rondo's affiliate, Lil Tum, was charged for the murder. So
okay.
The murder for hire was for retaliation for that murder that was committed by Quando Rondo's affiliate. Which, it was attempted to. The shooting was aimed at Quando Rondo, but ended up killing his, I think, 24-year-old cousin. I can't remember the name. Sorry, but pretty much that's the story behind it. So. And then there was the reports that he was trying to flee the country on a private jet to Italy after hearing his associates were arrested in Chicago that morning. Yeah. Supposedly he booked flights to Dubai and Switzerland.
I remember you sending that.
But then bored. And then by 6:40 p.m. the FBI learned that he arranged the private jet to Italy and
man had an escape plan.
They know. That's how they.
Bro had his escape. I'm not gonna lie, that escape plan is good, but I don't know why he booked that shit so late. Bro should have hopped on one of them flights immediately. Like, god damn.
Probably found out that these countries have can expedite them back to the country.
They're probably like probably ready to go.
Waiting for you right now.
He probably figured out that those countries that he tried to book a flight to, they can just send his ass back. You need to go to a country where they don't work with you. I can't think of the right word. Is expedite or wherever the word is to bring, say, criminals in a different country back to their country to serve.
Oh, damn.
So I'm assuming that was the
Mexico.
case.
Jeez, man.
Mexico sent them back too.
Yeah, he would have got sent back too.
Mexico sent them back. It's not,
Damn, bro should have just hopped on a boat somewhere and just, like, you know what I mean? Try to leave by Cuba. Flee by ocean. Like flee by the ocean, man. Like, cause these planes, bro, you ain't gonna you still gotta get off the plane. You still gotta get through, customs and all. Like, you're not just gonna get off in another country. Like, that's not how that shit works, bro. But I don't know, man.
It's just crazy because he has been doing a lot of community service work, especially in the recent years. This murder for hire plot was back in 2022, though. Yeah, it looks like he's been trying to, be a change in his community. I mean, he received like 2 keys to the city of Chicago, like literally the week prior. Yeah. So I mean, it's just it just goes to show that the stuff you do tends to always come back to haunt you. So
yeah. You say you got the key to the city and everything. That's tough.
Money. Money can't change everything. And,
yeah. Especially if you're knee deep still in that street shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like what you did, from, and it's the same thing that I said about a lot of people. It's like kudos to what you do for the community. You know what I mean? Like if you genuinely meant what you're doing and for the community, because some people just do shit just to save face or whatever. But like I don't know a Lil Durk situation. Like if he's really wanted to change his community and stuff like that, got the key to the city. Congrats to you, but it's like, man, like how if this all is like true and keep with a buck, it's like that whole Chirac and stuff, like back in the days listening to Chief Keef and like Lil Reese and Lil Durk and stuff. Like I used to listen to all that shit too, so it's like, man, when you listen to the music, it's like so hopefully if he was like if it's off his conscious, like the things that maybe you put into the community that you gotta like give back, like you took so much, you're a part of the reason, but you might have been a negative aspect to your community, when you're part of the street shit. Realistically, you know what I mean? Like that's just any community, right? When you're doing stuff like that, you are just a negative part of the community. Mm-hmm. I hate to say it that way, but it's like if you're in this allegedly, if you're in the streets, like going out, drive-bys or shootouts or slinging drugs, to your aunties and fucking like people across the street, this and that, killing your ops, like they smoking packs, all the shit that they say in the songs. We celebrate and we turn up to this music and all that stuff, but it's like
could be real life.
It's like this is all real shit, what I mean? It's like
kids listen to this and get inspired by that and wants to live. They want to influence to live that kind of life.
And especially if you're cool, like he looks cool, he sounds dope.
Got money.
He's got money. He got jewelry. Damn, if he could do all this shit, then I could do it. You know what I mean? It's like it lets anybody know, oh, I can do it too. But at the same time, like, I think the Gilly and Wallow podcast. You see that? Like, when Wallow was telling like Lil Durk, like, man, like you can't, like you gotta make a change, and like it kind of just sounded like they wouldn't even really listen to him at all.
I saw that little clip. Like, it was a deep topic. He was just like,
I fuck with Lil Durk too. Like, I like his music.
I mean, I like his music too. But it was like, Wallow in the interview, if you ever watched the clip, like he's real deep, and it was like, I try to help, my brothers and sisters. Like, I saw like a family member pass away.
I think it was his brother. He said that got killed. Yeah, right. Yeah.
I didn't want to say it wrong. So I was like, oh, a family member.
Yeah. Just in case. You're right.
So he was just real deep. Like, you could tell the emotion of when he said it. And he's telling Lil Durk about that, and then fast forward now, he's.
It's just your all that shit, like you said, Caleb, like all that shit comes back, like
try to do the best and help the community with the rappers.
Yeah, and then him as an artist, I mean, he obviously had an impact on hip hop. Kids probably look up to him. Sure.
And Chicago artists too.
Chicago artists, people that come up in the same situation he came up, knowing that there's a way out. Even worldwide, there's videos of fans in Ghana marching the streets to support Lil Durk with flags.
Man, that's just global.
That, so
so he must have done a lot too. Like he must have gave back. Clearly, like if Ghana, like people in Ghana are, in support, he must have gave back in communities in Africa as well. So, like I said, I don't take any of that away. Like if anyone does anything good for people and to change someone's life, like I always will give my respect to that. My only thing is like, I guess the general thing is, man, we just gotta like, especially like someone like Lil Durk, or I guess not even just Lil Durk, and just in general, like any rappers coming out the street and like you just made a big change for yourself. You're in a much better position. Move out. Get out of your get out of that community. Get your family out if you're able to, and just like you could still give back and do drives and give food and like maybe like put a like a community center or something like that to get kids something to do, like so they're out of that street stuff, and like you still do what you can for your community, but it's like, man, you got to picture like fucking pride to the side, or like like allegedly like if it's murder for hire or like retaliation and stuff like that, it's like, man, you have to just let go. As hard as it is, like in any situation, if you want revenge or you want, like someone like, nah, you got to avenge somebody, you know what I mean? Or like, who was part of your crew or whatever. That's like, bro, we have to get to a point where it's like, you gotta let go. Like, you know what I mean? And most of this shit's not even personal. That's the fucked up part about it.
It goes to show that you also can't trust the people you have around you, because it was supposedly one of his OTF members that snitched him out and was wearing a wire, supposedly recording everything. And I guess people. I guess Lil Durk told pretty much his crew to not use any like credit cards or anything linked to his name, and yet still they used credit cards linked to like his OTF label and all that. So they have a lot of I guess evidence that's linking back to
that time.
Jeez. But that's a shit. But if you're still part of it, it's like I can't even be like. Hey, bro, you got like if you're doing any dirty shit behind the scenes, like even like, you know, when you see these rappers go through the RICO charges and all that stuff, or the RICO acts and all that, it's like you gotta like, bro, you can't be doing this shit no more. You know what I mean? It's gonna come back.
You can't really take the hood out of the person that's where they're from.
I know, but it's like you gotta let go.
That's what you're saying. Like you want to let go, but it's hard to change that, and then with the fame and the money behind it, you want to make a better life. You want to make a better change. You want to not forget where you came from. But
no, and I'll never say that. It's like I said, give back. He clearly he did. He got the key to the city, so he whatever community work he was doing, he did. Yeah. But if you're still doing shit to fuck up your community. Like behind the scenes, clearly, like I'm not saying, like I said, I always want, we always got to use the word alleged. We don't want nothing to come back to us, and we don't know. We'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah.
But the way it's sounding, it's like, bro, like y'all was still trying to, I understand, and I understand that street shit too. I understand the game, you know what I mean? But it's like, bro, you have to I don't even know at this point. Like it's a touchy subject for me too.
You also
we gotta do better, man. You know what I mean?
Randoms on the internet saying he needs the slide for Vaughn.
Nah,
he
man.
Killed his boy.
And there's probably some white kid from the fucking suburbs saying that shit. You know what I mean? Like I guarantee you, bro. I guarantee you it is. Slide for Vaughn, like come on, that's who realistically is saying shit like that in real life? You know what I mean? It's like fuck out of here, bro. Like, and that's the type of shit I don't like, because that's only gonna continue the cycle. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that sucks, because someone like Lil Durk, it's like it's all these people who are doing good. You know what I mean? Like making a way out, because obviously in the beginning it's understandable. Like you're part. This is your environment. You gotta survive. You're in these cliques, you're in these gangs. You gotta do what you gotta do to But once you have an opportunity to get out of that, it's like, bro, like all that mob boss shit and all this, trying to, continue this, and now you got, and you gotta I don't know, man.
You feel me, obviously not in his shoes. He was hurting from that, and I'm sure there was discussions about what they wanted to do, if they wanted to retaliate and all that. Yeah. Obviously, he wasn't the one retaliating, but if he's obviously paying to get people to kill him, obviously. No, that's you're the one who... You're still not... You called a hit. Yeah, you're pretty much a hitman. Yeah. Calling hitman. Exactly. Do what you want. So, they're saying he's facing possibly life, possibly the death penalty. So, man, based off of that. So, we'll see how the case unfolds. I'm sure it's going to take a while. Yeah, and that's the same shit was like, damn, he, doing shit like that where you could have just picked, like I said, you got to put your pride aside. You gotta eat, and then even it all stems from a lot. Like this conversation, we could have literally a whole episode off of this conversation alone. And I don't want to harbor on it, but it's because it could go. It stems from a lot. I mean, of just be able to forgive yourself, the growth as a human, to get out of that. You gotta all the now you just fucked up your life. You're the breadwinner too. So now, who are other people's life that you may have now affected? Because now, if you're gonna be in the prison, your kids, et cetera, I don't know, the money situation, how much you got, put away, if it's in their name, or et cetera. I don't know that situation. So they could be already good to go. But just in general, it's it's a cycle. You know what I mean? Yeah. Someone did this, and most times, and we all know this, and Crips, Bloods, et cetera. So in our in our own communities, it's if you kill someone from another block, it's not even really necessarily personal. I don't know. They're 9 times out of 10, they don't even know who the fuck each other are. You know what I mean? They don't. Yeah. I don't know you. You don't know me. But you got that. You got that on. You got you're on a different block. You're on a rival. But you know what I mean? It all just stems from that shit has to somehow come to an end. You know what I mean? And same thing like that. One person gets killed, then the next person gets killed. Then you want retaliation. You miss the person, end up killing someone else, and it just becomes this. And then now now potentially,
could have, is going to go to prison, life prison now. And then you got like 4 other people arrested and affected. It like that, that's like 10 people already fucked up. The whole life is done, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's just like, damn, bro. Like that shit needs to like,
Of something that happened in 2020.
We all got passionate issue with that, but it's just like it's a deep ass topic, bro. Like,
it's just, for me, it's just, it's a terrible, it's just a terrible situation. Coming from an artist like, from any artist.
Yeah, Lil Durk got kids and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe the other members do too. For all we know, they got family.
Chicago is it's one of those places that it's hard to make it out from where he's from.
Right.
So, to be able to make it out, put a name for himself, platform, and all that, and did a lot for the community. He was just in Power. I was watching. He was just in a couple of scenes of Power. He was acting.
He was just in London at like the Bears London game. That's
what I'm saying.
So, he was doing a lot of stuff, and then you hear something deep that was a few years back, and it's catching up to him. It's kind of
yeah. And I guess it's easier said than done than just leaving out the game. You know what I mean? Of like. The street shit, like I guess it's it's probably easier said than done of what we're talking about, but it's like, man, you gotta.
It's tough to hear, what Caleb said. Death penalty.
Yeah, that's a lot.
All that. It's just.
It's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate
for all parties. For all parties involved, especially when you just want to see better for like.
Yeah, for artists.
For not just for artists, just for people who like I'm sure it's like. I know it's like, you probably have someone in your own family who's like, part of some street shit, or like someone it's like, you just want better for, all parties involved. And it's just like, damn, like really, like it's just a path that you just don't want to see nobody go down.
Yeah.
But, I guess life is life, unfortunately,
Yeah. Well, before we get into our next topic that also involves murder, I guess it's one of those days. Before we get into that, another rapper, Tekashi 6ix9ine, was taken into federal custody today. Violating the conditions of supervised release. You guys got any comments on that before we get into our next topic?
6ix9ine.
Like, bro, what are you still doing? Like, at this point, like, I don't know, man. Like,
he's kind of fading away in pop culture, but
100%.
I wanted to bring that up just to cover all.
I haven't really heard.
But it's like, what are you still doing, bro? Like, just go fucking retire somewhere with the money that you got, like, and just lay low. Like, what are you still doing? Like, trying to, like, you know what I mean? I saw some video where he like drank like a shitload of he's drinking like
alcohol or something. Or what?
But like on stage, it was like a couple months ago, or whatever. But then like he was just like fucked up, like I think he fell off the stage or something.
The money, that fame, the partiness and all that. Like he's definitely not slowing down from it, as you can see.
Yeah,
he's doing in custody and all that. But
I guess
I really haven't heard from the guy.
Yeah, he's kind of fading away from pop culture. But as I say pop culture, I wanted to bring up this topic. I know you guys weren't you guys weren't too familiar with what's going on with the situation in pop culture. And that's the Menendez Brothers. I'll run down for you guys or anyone that doesn't know that case. Pretty much the Menendez Brothers, Lyle and Eric, they shot their parents with shotguns back in August of 1989 in their Beverly Hills mansion.
Damn.
Lyle, he was 21 at the time. Eric, he was 18.
Shot both of their parents?
Shot both their parents.
And
killed them, yes. The defense attorneys argued sexual abuse by their father, but prosecutors said they lied to create an alibi, just to get their wealth. Pretty much, people speculate that they killed their parents to get that they'd get the wealth in their will, because they're rich, they're millionaires. They spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars leading up to their arrest. So people, the prosecutors suspect that there was a motive. But they got life without parole. Well, they got life without the possibility of parole back in 1996. But recently, the Los Angeles County District Attorney announced that they should be resentenced based on new evidence in the case, which caused people like Kim Kardashian, who's trying to get into the
to follow her dad's footsteps.
Yeah, follow her dad's footsteps. Pretty much, getting into lawyer stuff. What's the word for that?
What, attorney for the fuck?
Oh, she's trying to be like an attorney or a lawyer.
Yeah.
Or something. You know, something in that sense. You know?
In
that world, you prosecute, like, you know, that whole, you know. But she came out calling for a resentence for them as well. I mean, you know how much her word is put out there. She, obviously, what she thinks and whatever gets publicized. So
yeah.
This is also coming after a Netflix show came out about them not that long ago, maybe about 2 months ago now, maybe 1 month. And it was like #1 on Netflix. So that also, I felt like, got them a lot of attention recently, to where now this is getting brought up to look into resentencing them. Pretty much based off what I said, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think they should be resentenced, or should they stick with what they got, life without the possibility of parole, due to premeditated murder, pretty much?
Do we know about the more evidence yet of like what they got?
I don't know what the new evidence they got, but the case was that they're being sexually and physically and mentally abused by their father.
And how old were they when they
21 and 18, so they were adults technically
when they did that,
when they committed the murder in August of 1989.
Yeah, lock them up. I hate to say it, bro. I hate to be that way, but it's like by the time you're 1921, it's like, bro, like
you know what to do.
Like
you know your choices.
You know, yeah, you made your choice. Like if they were a little bit, if they were a little younger, and I will probably have a little bit more like if they were getting abused, and like I mean, I still got sympathy for like if they were abused and stuff like that. You know, obviously, like you said, that could be a
that's a whole different thing.
That could be made up. It could be. So I don't know that situation, right? But like just based off, you know, what Caleb told, I don't know anything about the situation. I just want to clarify that first. I don't want to know in the comments being like that, right? But based off just what you said, if the sexual abuse and stuff like that was real, I have empathy for them for going, you know, if that's the fact, for going through that, right? Any parent doing that to their children is just, that's not right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But at that point, you know, by the time you make it 1921, it's like, okay, you got to do the groundwork as well. It's like, you know, maybe, you know, get into therapy, all, you know, and to help your own mental health and get past that point, right? You don't have to have that relationship, you know.
It's funny you said therapy, because you guys are not aware of the case. They got pretty much caught because what's his name, Eric, told his therapist that they committed the murder, because at first they weren't suspects at first. Until Eric confessed to his therapist.
Bro had a lot to get off his chest.
Yeah, he was stressing about it.
Well, I mean, basically what I was saying was like, not before, like, not to have, like, if they're 1920, like, you shouldn't have murdered your parents. Like, you should have 1821. Like, you should have, you know, looked at, by that time you got you know, you can make your decision, your choices, especially if they're a rich family. You know what I mean? Then it's like, you did not have to murder your parents for, even if you were sexually abused and things like that, you didn't have to murder your parents and ruin your guys' life now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or if that is accurate, right?
Yeah, or that's their alibi and they really wanted their wealth. That's also
now see, if they really wanted their wealth and that shit, then that's it, man. That's some fucked up.
It also doesn't help them that they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars after they died. Like, if you're
so
spending a lot of the money that was given to them,
you
know, it doesn't look good on you. Buying, you know, sports cars, spending money on you know, drugs and clothes and.
I'll say this, man. There's so many people like, you know, like in our, you know, the justice system that are being fucked over, and where it's like we need to pay more attention to stuff like that. Like, this shit shouldn't, like, you know, it's like clearly, like, they are, you know, they murdered the parents, regardless of what it is. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to do time.
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean?
They've already done not 30 yet. 90. They got sentenced in 96, so almost 30. It's been 28 years.
That shit been a minute.
20 plus years.
Yeah. What do you think? You think?
Yeah, I'll let you go. Then I'll give my insight on it.
You know more about.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm thinking just like the age at 18, 21 they did it. Now they're saying like they got abused and all that. I mean, they did the crime, do the time. I mean, I think it's just. There's no point in doing it. If
they were like 12 and like 14, 12 and 15, I would have been like.
Yeah, I would have a little different insight about that. Right. But the fact that, you know, now we're bringing this up. Now you're already an adult. Yeah. Now you did a motive. Now you probably want to, you know, money.
And I put more on the 21-year-old as the older brother.
Like, doing it.
You know what I mean? It's like maybe the 18, like, I don't know the story of the relationship, but it's like I put a little bit more on the older brother. It's like, yo, hold on, man, you was 21 years old already. Like, if that, you know what I mean? It's like,
I don't know. People
You know, as an adult, bro, you did not even have to have a relationship with your parents after that. Yeah. Of course, you know, if you were abused and sexually abused, that's going to take a toll on you mentally. I understand that if that is the case, but it's like by 21, bro, like
it's still in your mind. It's still affecting your life to where I gotta go get a shotgun and really
like you know what I mean?
Really kill your parents.
It's like damn, you gotta just move on.
That would have been a whole different abuse. Yeah. But I was seeing people say they should free him and all that. Like
I don't know about.
I don't really think so. I mean, it's just. You know, I think just like Kev said, there was a motive. I think they just wanted
it sounds like a more motive.
And
you watched more of it though, so there might be some details that you.
Well, I knew the case before the show. Yeah. I only watched like the first episode of the show.
It's a series, mini-series.
Yeah, it's like a series. It's on Netflix, and that's the thing about this. Like, this is all coming to light now that Netflix put out a show, and it's the same thing with the Gypsy Rose case. Like now she's free because and. Of course, like she comes free after they had this whole like Netflix documentary and all the you know.
That's strange.
Before I get into my thoughts, speaking of them spending a lot of money, they actually got put back into the spotlight back in maybe 2019, 2020, when someone discovered that they were sitting courtside I think it was a Warriors game. It was a Mark Jackson basketball card, and you can see them sitting. They're in the background of the shot. Them sitting courtside, and that got a lot of like spotlight. Like that card became like I guess like boosted up in like worth because of it.
Wow.
Because you see them sitting courtside and at that basketball game of a Mark Jackson basketball card. Fun fact there if you didn't know about that. But you can look it up. You know, Mark Jackson, Menendez Brothers card. You can see it all over Google. But that's just goes to show like how they're spending their money. You know, obviously courtside seats ain't cheap even at that time.
I don't know.
That photo was taken. But my thoughts on it, I spoke to Brooke this morning about it because I was thinking, I still think the same.
Brooks is white, by the way.
Yeah.
Just in case.
She argued that, do you think they deserve a second chance? And I'll get into that. But at first, I want to say it was premeditated murder. They planned it. They're 18 and 21. They're both adults. If your argument is that you're being abused physically, sexually, mentally, you both are adults. You didn't have to stay in that household. It's not like they kept, for all you know, tying you up to your bed every night. You couldn't leave the house. Like, if you're obviously have your freedom still and you don't want to be abused anymore, you made a choice. Yeah. You premeditatively made a choice. Like, okay, if you wanted it to stop, you have choices to make it stop.
Right.
Report it. I'm not sure if they made reports back then, called the cops or whatever.
Yeah. That's the evidence I want to know. It's like, is there reports from back then of them
nothing happened?
Yeah.
Maybe if that's the case. Okay.
If that's the case, I'll have a whole nother answer.
But
whole nother. Yeah.
No one did any justice, or like if it was happening when they did the murder and it was self-defense. But that was I don't think that was proven not to be the case.
But it
was obviously premeditated. So obviously you guys are old enough to know what you're doing. You both are adults. You guys could have taken yourself out of that situation. You did not have to live in that home.
Right.
You guys went every way to murder somebody. So obviously they deserve to be. They deserve to be in prison. And it's been about like 28 years now.
And they've already done 28.
Yeah, because it was 96 when they were officially sentenced.
Yeah.
I see it as this. They were given. They weren't given.
This is why we're not judges, by the way.
Yeah, they weren't given the possibility of parole. My mind changed now, where I guess they have been doing good in prison, and I don't think they would be repeat offenders. And I guess if that was the case of why you committed it, I still think they deserve to do the time. But I don't think they should be. I think they should change it to where they can get parole later down the road, but not right now. Because there was reports saying they could be out by Thanksgiving. No, they haven't even done 30 years. I think they should at least do 40, in my opinion, because you still committed a crime. People do deserve second chances, but then there's a lot of people that are incarcerated for drugs and other things, or incarcerated without substantial evidence of a crime and still doing it.
Time.
Yeah. So when people who actually did something, opposed to someone who didn't do shit and getting locked up for their life.
And the evidence was there that they committed these murders. The second chance thing, she got me on that, because I don't think they'd be repeat offenders. And if they've been doing good and incarcerated, they're also not that far from here. They're down in San Ysidro. They're not far from here. For the people that don't know, we're in San Diego. Yeah, they're in the same prison as Suge Knight's in, down by the border.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Bumping heads with Suge Knight.
But I say yes if you want to give him the second chance. I think you have to give a lot of other people second chances too. But,
yeah.
I'd say if they want to resentence it, give them parole, but I don't think they should be getting out anytime soon. Still, I'd say give them another 10 years.
Yeah, I would
15
say
years. Just due to the fact that they were adults, they knew what they were doing. If you want to give them a second chance, okay, but don't give it to them right away and let them out right away just because a Netflix show came out about them.
Yeah, that's a little too. Yeah, that's a little.
Cycle of all the shows.
And to me, yeah, and to me, it's like, bro, this should be like, there's more than like this other shit that should be like what about the people like you said? Well, like, where's the voice for people who like, you know, like who did shit? Because you hear those stories of like someone who's getting out at like 80 years old because they found evidence that that they didn't do it or they didn't do this, and it's like
they give like a couple million in compensation.
Yeah, but then but you don't even hear about it. So imagine how many people in our justice system, because our justice system is out of whack in general. Yeah. You know what I mean? So imagine how much people going through this, and then here we are talking about these two from fucking 96.
Yeah.
Like, nah, and I agree with Kev on that. It's like, you know, it's like, I feel like at least make it to that 30. And like, but once you get out, you're still on parole.
Don't just try to bring up a resentencing and then try to get them out right away just because a Netflix show came out about it. Now it's more people are hearing about it that maybe weren't aware because they're younger, you know?
Yeah, and I do agree though with my opinion is I'm big on second chances as well. I have a lot of empathy for people and stuff, like, you know, but like just naturally I guess I'm just an empath. But I do feel like, you know, as you get older, and especially if they're in good behavior, you know, you do get that. You should have. At the end of the day, prison is fucked up, but it should be. I don't know. It needs to be back to like, you know, rehabilitation. Like, you know what I mean? It's what prison's supposed to be. It's supposed to be rehabilitation, right? Yeah. You're supposed to be out actually to change your life and grow and be able to go back on the outside and do good, right?
I know.
But obviously, it's not like that. But in general, if they were doing good behavior. And, you know, even at 21, 18, you know, you're going to think a lot differently. You know, I know we're only 27 and I think completely different from when I was 21 years old. You know what I mean? So, you know, if they've grown a lot and had good behavior, I still don't believe they should just be out by Thanksgiving, like you said. But I do believe. If they keep this path of just, you know, if like I said, if there's a good behavior and stuff like that, I do believe, you know, finish out at least that 30.
Yeah.
And then see maybe, from there. Yeah. And then once you are out, still on parole, like it's still not like just okay, you know.
I know America doesn't do it. I know America doesn't do it, but I know Canada does. If people are, you know, doing time in prison and they're trying to, you know, get them back in the real world, they'll let them out during the day, but they got to check back into prison by night.
Oh wow.
So they can work like a day job and have a job outside world, but you have to be back in prison that night, or you're, you know, obviously you're gonna face the consequence of not returning. But I know
Damn, that's actually wild.
Canada does something like that. Cause I was listening. Obviously, I listened to podcasts about this stuff, and they're talking. There was a case where they're talking about these kids that committed a murder, and then eventually, when they got older, they let them go out, but then they'd have to come back in, like had to return to prison by night. But I know America doesn't do that though. I think they should be getting more time. Like, they shouldn't be getting out right away. Like the rumors were that they're going to get out by Thanksgiving, but then I think I saw something saying they shut it down, saying that's not true. But if they haven't even done 30 years yet, I think they should at least be doing over 30 years, in my opinion, before they can get parole.
I agree, 30 years.
Yeah.
Then you work around the line.
But I do, I believe in the second chance.
Yeah, I do believe in a second chance for anybody in general. Like I do believe it, and like especially if it's good, especially if we hear good behavior. Like if you're doing good behavior, it's like okay, like everyone grows with time. You know what I mean? Everything changes with time. Hopefully,
it's also what the new evidence is too, because if it is the case where
that's big,
they just murdered them because they wanted their wealth and then, all this. Okay, keep them in. They think that's what you decided to do. But if there's evidence that they were being abused, there was reports that they called the police and made reports and they didn't do anything about it.
Then it's like free them.
Okay. Yeah. You know, give them parole. But
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I want to see what the evidence is, because if it's the case that they just killed them because they wanted their wealth,
definitely be the change of the case.
Oh yeah, that'll change everything, bro.
Yeah, it'll change everything.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that. Now I know something new.
Yeah, of course. You gonna look up that Mark Jackson basketball?
Yeah, I'm about to look up that picture.
But it seems like we're just talking about like, you know, legal stuff this whole podcast, because now we're gonna talk about Diddy.
Yeah, shout out Murder on My Mind podcast. West Coast Radio.
West Coast
Radio. But now we got 2 new Diddy lawsuits, if you guys aren't aware.
That's man Diddy.
I'll get into them. It's involving a 10-year-old and a 17-year-old. So, with the 10-year-old, allegedly, he drugged and raped a 10-year-old boy who was auditioning to be a rapper. Documents allege that this took place in 2005 at a hotel in New York City. He allegedly told a consultant that the boy's family hired that. Eventually, the victim allegedly told the consultant that the boy's family hired that he wanted to have one-on-one time with the kid while he auditioned in his hotel room. He supposedly handed him a soda after the quote audition and claimed to feel funny after drinking it. He eventually pushed the kid down and said, quote, "You have to do stuff you don't want to do sometimes," end quote, and then allegedly assaulted the kid. So that's the case with the 10-year-old boy. That's all allegedly. Obviously, there's been a lot of Diddy lawsuits and
there's been a shitload of Diddy lawsuits. So
right, and that's just the latest.
Yeah, some to find out that weren't real. Others are going to be real. So
so that's back in 2005. And then this one, I'm not sure if it was around the same time. I just know this one also came out. The 17-year-old participated in a multi-day audition for Making of the Band.
Oh no, not Making of the Band.
I guess he subjected him to inappropriate actions, including groping him and asking him to embody a, quote, sex idol persona. Diddy would eventually pressure the teen into sexual acts, which led into the following days of the audition until he eventually backed out of the auditions in general.
I definitely wouldn't be surprised of the Making the Band one for sure, because even that show in general, like, just felt like dude had this control and power. You know what I mean? I remember that show. You know what I mean? So like, like it's just Diddy, like, you could just tell. I mean, I think Dave Chappelle had the skit on the Chappelle show with the Making of the Band. I wouldn't be surprised of especially the second one. Of the Making the Band one, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that's accurate. That sounds like, you know what I mean. I wouldn't be surprised if that one.
Actions.
That sounds like some shit he probably would do. But we're just fucked up, that these stories, have to come out, like this. But if it gets someone to be able to share their story, you know what I mean. If these things are real, you know what I mean.
Speaking of these stories,
but the tenure,
I hate when, like, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
I hate when, like, people, like, want to argue that, oh, why are you bringing it up now? But it's like, who says these people didn't bring it up then, but wasn't getting heard then? Like, obviously, 100%. With everything that's going on now, when you bring it up again
they have the opportunity now.
Then they're gonna boast it. Back in 2005, they go report this to somebody, and they're probably like, right, that didn't happen,
right? Or he did, and then, like, they swept it under the rug. Like, those are money is a big thing, man.
The boy didn't tell the people around him, and the people around him knew this whole time, but obviously they weren't getting the help they needed until now, because now the media, the spotlight's on that topic. So I've always hated when people would get mad, like, oh, why is these women or why are these people coming out now? Well, they probably weren't getting the attention then. Right. So now that it's in public media, everyone's going to get brought up.
And then when you do hear the stories of people talking about something from way back when, and they get called crazy.
Yeah.
And then now when something actually comes out, then it's like, oh, what's so crazy then?
Telling the truth the whole time.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. I really hope like that first one. Well, I hope both of them. I in general, like, when you hear these situations, like, because you just don't want nobody to go through anything like that.
Yeah.
So but that's especially the 10-year-old boy one. That's like,
you just wanted to be an aspiring rapper.
Yeah, and then oh man, that's tough. I really hope that's that shit actually, like, it's not,
I hope it's not true. But I mean, it's just.
But if it is, man,
so many similar stories is leading up all the Diddy. Talking about underage, boys and girls, men and women, and all this, and being drugged and all this, and it's it's too many stories to count. And your name was around it. It's hard to not believe it.
You know what else? Another one too. With going with that, our parents got to do better too, bro. Just letting your kid.
I mean, because they're probably taking bribe money and things like that, or just
and they're probably
my kid's gonna be a star. You know what I mean?
They're like, oh, Diddy's not gonna do nothing to my kid in this fucking hotel room. He's just auditioning. Maybe they just want like privacy,
right?
Yeah, I mean, Justin Bieber for young actor, young artists like him, get in the game. And,
Usher,
yeah, Usher too. Him as well. It's like, it's crazy what the type of power he had. If people didn't, like you guys said, like if they try to say something, but it wasn't put out to where it is now. Because and all that stuff was pushed aside,
and the money also gets involved. Where they brush it under the rug because they're like, oh, he's going after his money. Yeah, like they just want money. Yeah, that also plays a factor.
Man, and that's the thing too. It's like obviously if all these are alleged, but for me personally, like I already touched on it. So like I'm not surprised by none of this Diddy shit, bro. Because like I was already watching these Hollywood Exposed videos, and dudes already been weird to me. And I've seen other interviews where they said shit like, or like sometimes like a security guard would say like, he was in the room with one person, like, in the office, or like say some, like, I don't know what went down. I was just outside of it. So they don't know, but it's like something may have happened or went down. Like we don't know, but then the other side of it is like the parents, like, I don't know if you guys watched that Quiet on the Set documentary, the Nickelodeon, like the Dan Schneider.
I saw like the first.
Because when the Drake Bill thing came out, and then even more than the other situations, like that had people who already or predators who already were like convicted, and done time on those sets, around the children and stuff.
Pedophiles and then offenders on these sets.
Yeah, and then be able to have one-on-one time, with the children and like and stuff like that. It's just it's just sad for the industry in general, because it's clearly the Hollywood industry, and it's also the music industry where you hear about these children, and then you wonder why they go crazy, or you wonder why they get fucked up, and then imagine
drugs, just fucked up in the head. Yeah.
And the list of people who have been in the game for maybe a little bit, or like the Making the Band one, he stopped. Like, clearly, once you see what the industry, like, this is what the industry is all about, and I haven't even got my foot in the door yet, and I'm already in that situation.
But his morals,
I don't even want. My morals. I don't even want to I don't even want to get bit. Like, I don't need this industry. I'll just work at regular. Like, I'll do I'll do something else. Like, this just not worth it. You know what I mean? So, man, it's one of those things where it's like, say it ain't so, but. Right. If it is, man,
if it is, it seemed like it is. I mean, that's, and then Diddy's sons too.
Yeah, like, as I mentioned.
What happened
over the weekend?
I didn't even hear about this until I read what you wrote.
Yeah, I mean, I just seen what you said, Caleb. Like,
over the weekend at a Halloween party, I guess Diddy's sons attempted to fight Ray J, and then Chris Brown intervened and broke it up.
Yeah,
TMZ, I'm like, that's a wild set of people there to be in a scuffle, I guess.
Yeah.
Chris Brown, Ray J, Diddy's sons.
Because I know Ray J's been on the news.
Man, I see it as this, man. If your dad's in prison facing all stuff, why you guys at a Halloween party, man? Shouldn't you guys be at home, like, stressing?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you guys be stressing? Are you guys linked to it?
Who knows? These guys, we don't know if the sons
get your mind off it.
Yeah, for real.
Just to get your mind off it, yes. That just doesn't look good on you in the spotlight, especially if you're getting in a fight with Ray J. Like, your dad's here freaking gonna be facing lot of charges, and you're here.
Probably what it is. All the emotion going on, all the anger of having his.
I think they should just lay low if I was them, but
right.
Teach their own.
Don't make anything worse.
Yeah, don't make it worse as it is.
Right. The negative spotlight's already on you. Don't make it worse.
And Ray J's been on the news too, like talking about he's been like they've been asking questions about like the Diddy stuff, and I've been seeing like some like snippets of him on the news too. Like, he's a character himself, but like.
Right. Chris Brown breaking it up.
Like, it's just like random as hell. Like, what's going on? Like, but man, because we spoke on the Diddy's, like, all that shit. So man,
going forward, stay out the limelight from Diddy's family.
We don't know if the sons could be involved in there. We don't know. The sons could be involved, and also just all the people. I just want to know who else is involved around Diddy's doing of all the stuff that's been happening. Who was there? Like, who's seen everything? Every parent, every employee around him.
Right.
I want to see the insights of all the celebrities and all the people that's probably gonna end up going down with him. And that's what I want to see.
I agree. I want to see.
I'm waiting for those. waiting for those evidence.
And also, man, I just really like it's one of those things with the parents too, because it's like, bro, like that. I feel like that's another part that's not being talked about when it comes to these child actors. It's like, you know, like how much do you like, how bad do you want your child to be a star? You know what I mean, or to be in this like. Are you doing it because it's something that you may want to do and you want to push your child to do it? Do you want the money or like what is it? You know, the fame or you might have just trusted like, you know, somebody and didn't think, like you said, like I didn't maybe trust. Oh yeah, I didn't think that he would do it. You might actually be genuinely a good parent, giving my son's about to have this opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin it for him. But at the same time, like if your child is 10 years old, I'm not gonna like if it's an audition. Why don't I can't just stand to the side? There's
no reason why I can't be in that room, privacy or not.
Yeah. Like why can I just? I'll stand over here. I won't.
Yeah.
My son's gonna do his thing, but I'm gonna keep an eye on my 10-year-old child in the vicinity of someone who I don't know.
Because it's like you're in a question like, why would you need to be in a room with my kid by myself? He's the kid.
Exactly.
Like, I should be in the room with him as his guardian.
But then it might be a thing with like you know, this like, do you want your kid to be a star or not?
Yeah,
like,
they're not thinking of it. They're like, oh, it's Diddy. He can, you know, this is once in a lifetime opportunity. This fucking
exactly, just do it.
He's not gonna do anything.
And then
he's just more on things that you're just gonna go by what he prefers,
right?
Like,
which is sad because it's like, damn. Because if you're the parent in that situation, it's like, damn, this might be my kid's own opportunity. And then you don't want to be like, no,
take it away from him
because then your kid's gonna despise you.
You're gonna limit that your whole life thinking, oh, I could have fucking, you know, my kid could have been something this whole
right,
you know.
And then your kid might fucking, mom, I hate you. Like, so shit, you know, that's gonna
happen either way, but it's gonna start.
Yeah. Either way, that's gonna be like, mom, why don't you stay in that? Yeah. So, but then it's sad. Like all jokes aside, when a story like this comes out, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, obviously allegedly, but like even for something like that to even be alleged, it's like, damn, I feel it's like that's not shocking, but it's also like it's sad, you know what I mean? It's just like, damn, bro, like 10 years old, you know, it's like to even have a 10-year-old even come out and say an innocent kid even like, fast forward to now, obviously he's older, but like to come out and, you know, to even say that against someone, even to even just like say, man, this person did that to me, and that story comes out, you're gonna be like, damn, that's a whole lot. That's pretty bold to say, like to even put that on somebody. You know what I mean? Like this is what they did to me. You know what I mean? So, man,
hope justice is served.
Yeah.
Whatever comes out, I just hope that he don't end up like Jeffrey Epstein. Have it all come out.
Yeah, and I hope, exactly. Like, because I feel like a lot of that shit was swept under the rug, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like even
all that shit.
Oh man, even his girl that was a Giselle Maxwell, like bro, that shit wasn't even like that shit wasn't even like reported, bro. Like nobody was even talking about that, and that's even obviously all of this is, but it's like with the Diddy situation, it's like they were saying like in the music industry, like he was on like that type of shit, like that type of time. I think Epstein's much worse because there's probably bigger players involved.
Yeah.
But even with the Diddy thing though, I'm pretty sure there's still big players involved, and who was even higher than him in the industry, who was part of the these freak offs or anything like that because clearly if he was a gatekeeper,
Yeah.
And then even like
my thing with the Diddy parties though, I think Diddy threw parties, and just because someone went to a party, like say LeBron or Kobe or
it doesn't mean
doesn't mean they were involved, and that doesn't mean that exact party is what they're doing.
That's what. I agree with you.
And a lot of people are just like, oh, Kobe was caught at a Diddy party, he must be involved, or LeBron was this. And
yeah. Doesn't mean
party like a Diddy.
Yeah. I'm sure Diddy knows who he's involving in these. Where he's not gonna have all the celebs involved in it. Obviously, it's gonna be a certain group behind closed doors where they're doing that. Or even if it was happening at these parties these guys were at, I'm sure.
How would they know?
LeBron ain't know if he's here spiking their drinks for all you know.
And that's the thing, like because usually in the industry in general, like this general parties, like they throw parties in Miami, and like some of the people in the general public like are able to go to those parties. You know what I mean? So like, and sometimes like there's actual like. There's a general like industry party, and then there's something else.
Yeah.
Most people are going to that party. Like you hear,
you just think, oh, Diddy's known for throwing parties.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean just because a big name celebrity was there doesn't mean they're.
And then what time of the night are they doing the other stuff? Like we could all go to the party and be like, man, it's 10 o'clock. We cutting out of here.
While everyone else balanced, the people that know what's going on.
At 2 p.m. You know what I mean? What's going on at 2 p.m. in that other room? That's that other area. Like because this party could be in here, but there could be that like a mansion, like that area over there. That's probably that's where that shit's going down. But we're over here in the general vicinity where we have no fucking clue that even happened over there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Though,
Well, everyone bounces. They already have their victims, and they're gonna do what they want.
Right.
You know what they aim to do. But that isn't
same thing with
just because a big name celebrity, rapper, artist, actor, or whatever is there doesn't mean they're involved with it. So, like seeing that stupid shit on the internet, like don't just try to point at people and speculate and assume they did something when there's no evidence.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing with the Epstein thing though, because like. He's met like so many celebrities, so someone might just have like a picture with him, and then it's like, oh, I mean, it's like, bro, like if there's not, if like an actual evidence of someone doing something, actually being, on the actual island and stuff like that, it's like then. Dude might have just been at a basketball game and took a picture with like Fat Joe or some shit. Like I'm just using not to throw Fat Joe in there, but I'm just a random. The first person I can randomly think about.
Shout out Fat Joe.
Yeah, shout out Fat Joe. Just fucking just threw him into it. But like same thing. You just see a picture. It's like, bro, that could be anything. Like dude next to you can murder someone and you took a picture with them. It's like, I had no fucking clue he did that.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Took a picture for you.
Yeah. They took the picture for you. Yeah. It's like you have no clue. Like So yeah, man. Yeah, we gotta close it up.
Before we end, there's also another allegation with Metro Boomin. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, that just came out with
that just came out.
Metro Boomin is being sued for alleged sexual battery, allegedly impregnating a woman.
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't know. It's kind of crazy for that to be in the spotlight,
especially when Metro Boomin's like
Metro's real low key. I don't.
But anyone could. That's there. His career is like the biggest it's ever been right now. So usually that's when like you start hearing random shit. Like, and the thing is, you hear like this woman come out and say something about someone, and this just for a money bag, like for a quick bag.
Well, I know it could have been consensual, and then they want to come out saying it wasn't.
Yeah. So. We'll stay. Allegedly.
We'll keep allegedly. It updated on that one. We'll see how it plays out. Right?
But we'll stay. Even with all these, like we'll stay. Like we might. Who knows? 2 episodes from now, we might hear some more about something and follow up on it. But we gotta close this episode out. So. That was a lot. That was a lot of topics, man.
A lot of lawsuits and murder and legal activities going on.
And statues and fucking
sexual
podcasts and Dwyane Wade statues. No,
right. Darnell
looking like statues. But yeah, man, that was a fun episode. Honestly, that was a lot. Like, and the thing is, we could have kept on going for like another 2 hours with this type of shit. Like, realistically. But yeah, we gotta close it up and. Yeah, what else we got? Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Go check out our last episode or interview that we did with Ask the Author. We also did one with Richie Evans. 2 interviews last week.
We got more coming.
And just more coming. So pause.
Giveaways coming.
Yeah, exactly. And we're trying to hit that. 500 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh yeah, keep subscribing.
Yeah, keep subscribing. Yeah, hit that subscribe
button. We're gonna have to give away something big if we get 500, and I'm gonna come in with my celebratory cigar. I told y'all. From the Dominican Republic too, man.
Yeah, big fan.
You can't get the cigar I got. You can't get out here. Shout out to my coworker. Shout out to my coworker Julio for giving me that. Straight from the Dominican Republic.
If you
came from there.
Yeah, you're trying to smoke a cigar on the podcast, so we gotta hit that 500, please. But yeah, man, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram. Leave comments. Let us know if there's something you guys want to hear us talk about or whatever, or. Let us know your your thoughts and feelings on any of the topics we talked about in the comments, and let us know what you think about all that good stuff. And we'll be back next Tuesday, and who knows, we might got some other shit going on too.
Every day of the week.
Yeah. So
Tuesday.
Yes, sir. PRP Podcast, man. We out of here.
We out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Pure rap, bitch.